Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. This is now Brandies or Brandies. Not exactly sure how to pronounce the high school's name. Anyway, Nighthawks, Armed Exhibition, Air Force Junior ROTC. So we have pretty pretty much the same throughout the team in positions pretty much, but so here you need to look at feet. All right, so you can't see my cursor until I click on it. There we go. All right, now you can see my cursor. All right, so his feet, the heels are barely separated, which fine if that's the standard you want. However, everybody else, almost everybody else, has a very wide stance. All right, then let's notice here hand positions. Are hands supposed to be together? Is there supposed to be a slight separation? Or is it like this young man here? Is the hand supposed to be down on the arm extended? We'll just put it that way. And then also let's look at heads. Heads, we have right here, this young man has his eyes down, and that's pretty much it. Others look to have varying degrees of the head down. Looks like first, well, I don't know. Commander, you're here, so it looks like first element leader is here. It looks like first element leader is kind of rounding his shoulders a little bit. So lots of finer details to consider. And then rifles are grounded. Mostly, it looks like this rifle, though, second element leader, looks like that rifle is not. No, I guess it is. Probably touching the toe, but just be aware of that. Okay, let's just make sure. And then uniforms look great. Commander, you have a wrinkle right in here, probably caused by your blouse. So you want to make sure that everything is smooth all over. Okay, let's watch the routine. What a nice beginning. That's great rifle work there. Really well done. And Commander, honestly, if you're not going to use the scabbard, I'd say don't wear it. Really, it having two hands and the sword can give you some options. You can mirror what the rifles are doing in places. Now I know you can't let go of the sword, unfortunately. Love that opening statement there. That's just great. And then you're spaced enough, well enough to then facilitate this entrance here. You know, that reminds me of a train, honestly, and that's not a bad thing. Nicely done. What year is this? Oh, all right. So it's this year. Awesome. Okay. So, Commander, what I would suggest, you don't have to use the sword in the regulation technique. You don't have to bring it straight down so that it's only 6 inches off the marching surface, the tip. I mean, point is straight in front of you. You can come out to the side. You can do whatever you want. However, one thing that I do suggest, let's get to there. Darn it, I was distracted by the rifle work. There. So you're bringing your sword up to here, but you're past eye level, and it looks odd. Now, not because it's not the regulation technique, it just looks odd because it makes you look unsure of yourself. Okay, so instead of bringing the rifle or the sword up to past the eye level, you can go chin, you can go to even chest level. Really, ceremonial technique is chest level, but here you come up as long as, and this is going to impact judges, and I'm not talking about the judge here. I'm talking about any judges that you're reporting into. You need to keep your eye contact, and here you're not keeping eye contact, you're breaking it. So I'm pretty sure that's why it looks a little odd, is because you break the eye contact there. So I just want to go back a bit. Honestly, I could just watch the performance. Okay, good. So you step forward. I very much appreciate the coming off the right heel and coming forward. However, you step over to the left, so it's not powerful, really. No, I shouldn't say that. It has a certain level of power, but the power that's there isn't as effective as it could be. So you're probably going to get tired of me clicking back to rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. All right, so here I would suggest either a sharp motion, as if you're sword fighting, a sharp motion to come and just whip the sword down as you step forward, but you need to keep your shoulders square to the front line, keep your hips square to the front line, and step forward, not to the left. So it's much easier when you stand at attention with your heels and toes together, and then you're able to step forward. However, you can still facilitate this with that 45-degree angle and step forward, but also I think pivot as well on the right foot, so that you lift up on that right toe, and then you have your whole left foot face pointed straight forward. Then you have a much cleaner line, a much cleaner look, and it's much more powerful. So you can either whip, and I can't do it here. I'd love to go outside and show you the technique I'm thinking of. You can either whip the sword straight down with more of a regulation type salute for the Academy sword, or you can whip it out to the side. And I don't mean, and it wouldn't be necessarily a fast, or not as fast as whipping it straight down and keeping that really hard and fast control. Maybe a step forward, and to come up, even arch your back a bit. I really think that's going to be much more impactful than what you have here, much more effective. So, and because I just love this sequence, I want to watch it again. All right, so now I need to see the feet with that turn. All right, not bad. That was a really good attempt to turn on the left heel for the middle element there. Really nice job. It wasn't as effective as it could have been. However, that really was an excellent attempt. I really appreciate the effort that went into that. boy, uniformity of technique, timing issue there. But still, you can see the technique in all three elements. The offsetting is really quite good. It works very well.
Go Brandies!
Okay, Brandies. Thank you for whoever said that. I appreciate that. Well done coming back into line there. Rifle movements, the little knee stop, that was great. Excellent job. That really, love the sweeping movement there. And honestly, so Commander, I really think a sweeping salute will you could even use a sweeping motion as just a slight echo throughout the performance, as a callback to when the commander first did that sweep. Then each of the elements, before they turn around, they perform that sweep. I really think that would be a nice, not necessarily theme, but a nice move to get in there to be recognized by those who are really paying attention. Crossover step 2, that's nice. Well, clean, yeah, maybe. So it wasn't clean. There were some angle issues and also some timing issues there. And we can go back, I'm quite sure. So here's where we see now, first rank very close, second rank similar, all 6 of them really quite close. Then we get into third rank here, and you can see angle issues and also some late spins, and then same with the back. So not clean. So and boy, that's interesting. It looks like, yeah, you can see my cursor there. It looks like he's having a little bit of an issue. Maybe his head is not in the game here. Late on the spin. So that did, I love that move. I really do. That was a fantastic change of direction from an angle marching back to coming around, spinning around into the block formation. But your spacing is just not there, and neither was the alignment. So, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to watch this a couple of times. So feet seem to be, he was in the way there. Feet seem to be pretty consistent for the turn. It's the lead up to the turn that is problematic. And it's problematic with alignment, and also it looks like the end step. Now, if you've not, I've described it many times before, but the end step is the last step you're going to take in your current direction. So the end step for the team before this turn is there. So the end step was the left and then the right stomp, and then you start the turn. And you can see shoulders are some shoulders are ahead of the turn, and some shoulders are, it looks like, honestly, it looks like the first 6 are your most seasoned drillers, and then you have maybe a couple a couple other seasoned drillers, maybe in the back 2 ranks, and the rest are much newer. I don't know if that's exactly the case, but it's just what comes across to me. Now, marching towards your audience there, that was really, even though it's very basic, even though it's very simple, it was really good work to use the lines of the rifles up against the lines of the body, and then also the lines that the team has made. And Commander, I would say get in on that. Honestly, you've got 2 hands. Well, and really, I'd say lose the scabbard. You can keep the Sam Brown with the shoulder strap. Just take the frog away and the scabbard, and it designates you as the commander. But you can be much more free to integrate with the performance instead of really just marching at attention. Honestly, that's I know that you've done some of the foot movement anyway. Good work with the free hands there. Really well done. Not bad at all. All right. There are a couple of free hands that are not exactly working well with that toss. Some are going down to the side. 1 or 2 were left out in front of the torso there. So now, see, Commander, there you go. That's great. That really works well. That's what I was looking for in the rest of the performance there. However, nice. That was really eye-catching. Excellent job. That short spin there is just fantastic. Excellent job. Holy cow. And what really sends it is that everybody is aligned really well. Now the step off after alignment pays a little bit of a price there. There you go, Commander. I keep talking about the Commander all the time, but honestly, Commander, there are there are you're holding the sword like you should, like a pretty much like a pencil, having that U shape and just hooking it right underneath the T there, and that's great. However, if you hold it differently, you can do all kinds of things with the sword, and I highly suggest that you start experimenting with the sword and keeping one of trying to manipulate it while keeping one of the cross piece here, one of these tucked into the thumb, the groove there. I really think it would be quite beneficial for you. So alignment there is quite poor, and recovery time is almost non-existent. However, look at the step technique as well. So this cadet here, sorry to pick on you again, but he is stepping over imaginary logs. He has a slightly increased knee bend. He's lifting his feet a little bit higher and then slamming the heels down. And Commander, you have also slammed your heels in at certain times when the rest of the team wasn't. The rest of the team has been marching at a fairly consistent application of the step technique throughout, marching forward like this. Sure, there are variations in there, but Commander, you've been a little bit different, just like now. So I'm thinking that nice reversed beta move. That is fantastic. So I'm thinking that the alignment issue leading up to this was a great technique change. It was anticipation, the alignment issue earlier. Quite possibly anticipation of the next move. So why the kneel for so long? Why kneel for so long? Okay, now you have the audience reaction. Start going now. The audience reaction has finished. This is... what are they doing? Why is this? So step technique there wasn't applied consistently. You can see I was really enjoying the see the there's knee bend in there, but there isn't with some. So it takes that was very good. Height could have been much better. So the variation in height, the variation in the step technique, it takes away it takes away from the good job. Like that a lot. Anyway, the lack of or the lower excellence, let's say, takes away from the team's performance. So even with the kneel stance, let me go back just a bit. You still have to maintain your spacing. So here we have pretty consistent spacing, pretty consistent technique. It should have 45, well, as close to a 45 as possible. You need to have your toe right here curled up on the marching surface, and then the heel pointing straight up. So almost a 45 here, but you definitely should have a 45 in this knee here, and that's for everybody. See, lack of a 45 is it's lack of display of strength there, and then the inconsistent spacing then also takes away from the performance. Boy, that was an opportunity for a great pass through. So really long development for the line. Hi, Mama Chandler. So we can come back to there. So from 641, the pass through, to there, about 6:54, 55. So a full 10 seconds just to set up the next performance, or the next portion of the performance. And you know, in our world, 10 seconds is forever. So I know that on paper it looks really good to have the team come out and then L over. You're flanking and you're coming out, and I understand that. I can see whoever wrote this portion of the performance designed it, not necessarily wrote, but whoever designed it, I can see how on paper, yep, that looks really cool. In practical use, it takes forever to develop. There's really nothing happening because eventually everybody's back is to the audience. So now you're not performing for the audience. You're moving well away from the audience as well, which is not a big deal, but it's difficult to take in smaller movements when you're farther away. So I suggest at least halfway or closer, the smaller movements should be performed, and usually smaller movements happen in a ripple line. So you want to have the ripple line. Let's see, you could, instead of having everybody move out and then away, you could have everybody moving out, but the middle moves out. So you go from here to here. The middle moves out to the ends, and the outer ends move in, more or less. You could still do that, but that's pretty much essentially what it would look like. That's going to be a much quicker development, much faster to get the alignment. Plus, you're going to be that much closer to your audience. And then commander, having the commander in front then just doesn't work well with a ripple line. And see, these are smaller movements, and I get it. You can see the silent drill platoon, and they're in the middle of a football field, or if you've seen my videos for them, or they're in the middle of a basketball court, and everybody's so far away. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about a scholastic performance. Holy cow! I've got to go back and see that. So we're talking about a scholastic performance that really needs to have the team closer to the audience. Oh my goodness. And so a report. Oh crud! I apologize. So a report out from the middle of the floor. It's different, a bit unusual. Not exactly what everybody's used to, but the stance here is, and I don't. This is not meant to be insulting at all. It looks lackadaisical. There is. The stance is, all right, we're finished. So, what'd you think, huh? Aren't we great? Yeah, actually you are. You're really good. However, this doesn't communicate that. This communicates that we're finished now. And there's a severe, unfortunately, a severe lack of power, and that's all you've generated throughout the whole performance, which is just awesome. Even with the things that I've identified where the routine needs work, still you've just gone and given power move after power move, whether it's with the rifles or whether it's with marching or both. And then here, it just doesn't follow. It doesn't flow with the rest of the routine at all. And so we're at 8:08, and you only have a few seconds or so. Well, you could actually rewrite this so that the team reforms closer, and I would highly suggest that. So here, honestly, I think after the tosses, you could have designed something that brings the team in, and not even just marching at port. I'm talking about a very powerful movement that leads the audience to think, oh, what's happening next? Oh, this is so awesome and great. And I know you have your own cheering section here, and that's awesome. I love that. That's fantastic, and it works well. It gives the rest of the audience an understanding of what's coming here, or what's happening anyway. So, not exactly the exit that you wanted. There was a couple of hiccups here and there, but still, it's. I appreciate the thought process here and the powerful movement that can be executed, and it's in places it's the lack of precision that really hurts, but still hurts the routine, not me. But still though, that report out, it's just it leaves you wanting. Honestly, and not in a positive way. Oh, I want more. It leaves me wanting an explanation. Really, boy, what was that? The report in was so powerful. And then, what? So, again, not to insult, just to inform and educate. I loved the routine. Really did. It was so powerful, well thought out in many places. Just got to work on that execution, though. But thank you so much for the request, and I hope my words have been helpful.